Difficult task. Very.
Baba Ogbo, what is difficult? Chiboko!
Wow, interesting. Okay. Iyatejumade, for the benefit of this show, I will welcome you as Iyatejumade, but your other name really is Bimpe.
Okay, thank you.
It's nice to have you. Our gentlemen have created space for you there. But first, you know why I brought you in at this point? He spoke about Shango actually having some relationship, even with Thor, and Marvel has shown interest. Now, this is a story I know that was screened recently in
the Real-Time International Film Festival.
That's right, which is where I saw it for the first time. And I was surprised to find out that it's something that had taken you 23 years to do. Tell me why it was like that. And in the course of the 23, you spoke of having even reached out to, I'm not sure, not Marvel,
Walt
Disney.
Yes. Okay.
Say hello to the young man.
Hi. Hi. In 1994, after watching Lion King, I was highly inspired. I said, it would be nice to have a story that has human beings instead of animals. So I wrote this, an African story. So I wrote it, and I wrote a letter to Walt Disney telling them I like Lion King and that I have this story that I've written and I would like them, you know, to
but who are you?
Produce it.
What's your background? Why would they take your story?
Well,
because you are...
I believe in doing things. That time I was in art school. I mean, I was 20 and in art school. So, well, I mean, I tried.
I see Jonathan, look.
I tried, you know, I tried it. I believe in trying things. At least, you get a no. What if you get a yes? So they replied, I still have the letter. Their letterhead is Mickey Mouse, thanking me for writing, but that they have people writing stories for them. So, well, I kept it with me, but I also started developing it into a storybook for children because I also noticed that most animated full feature films, they've come from books like Snow White and all of that. So, and I just left it. In 2004, I did some illustrations for the book, got Uncle Jimmy Shola and Kevin to write a foreword for the book. I tried getting it published, but, you know, this tainted thing called money. It's quite...
What do you call it, tinted or tainted?
Tainted thing.
Okay.
You know, so I
don't
left
think money
it.
was issue for these two.
So I left
it was.
Was it an issue for you?
It was.
So I left it.
Always is.
So I left it again. And then I got into the world of film, as it were. I mean, in 2013, I was the costume designer for Tunde Kilani's Dazzling Mirage film. So I started meeting people in the film world. So I said, okay, I can't keep bottling this project within me anymore, that I want to, you know, put it out. Of course, I had written it for a feature, but since I don't have all the money in the world, I now decided, okay, let me take a part of it, you know, and put it out there. And even that part of it that I put out there, it was really
So this
challenging.
is what we have seen now. This is just a part of it. This is like
what you've seen now is the trailer. The short film is like 15 minutes and is also online. My plan, what I wanted to do from the get-go was to make it into a full-length feature, like 90 minutes or thereabouts.
Are you talking to, it's not the people like Kola them?
I've spoken to him. We are in discussions.
Yeah, we're in discussions.
Okay, what I find interesting, the way I'm putting all three of you together, I would like Jonathan to speak to that first now. Now, we're talking about Nigeria. Nigeria is 57 years old.
Yes.
In fact, and you tell me that some of the things that you're doing now, you couldn't do it until you left Nigeria. That you saw the value of our culture. True or false?
True.
You know, and you know, what does that tell us about the need for us to produce content that is our own?
I think it's extremely important because what you find is that, you know, Nigeria, obviously, we're an LEDC, and you find that a lot of talent...
LEDC? What does that mean?
Less economically developed country.
Oh, abbreviation.
You didn't want to use third world.
So third world is no longer, it's derogatory.
Yeah, it is.
So we said LEDC.
So not even developing. L what?
LEDC.
LEDC. Oh, okay.
So yeah, what you find with countries like us is the exceptionally talented people, like the people I'm with here,
Yes.
they end up at a point seeing that it's difficult for them to produce their content here and look overseas. And then what we're doing long term is just improving other countries at the detriment of ours, because pretty much all the people who might not necessarily have plans stay here, and then the people who are visionaries or forward-thinking end up leaving to
That's an interesting point, because I was reading recently that the most educated people in America, for example, are Nigerians. And you were there. You could have stayed back playing soccer, or you came back home. Why?
I mean, I just feel like there's a need for us to start coming back. And the truth is, at the end of the day, we're really not welcome in those countries. Like, there are so many stereotypes that the Nigerians have to face. And I feel like the more we prove that we don't need to be in their country to achieve our goals, the better it will be for us long term.
Was that
So that's
because
one
you,
of the
for
reasons
example,
I came back.
Kolawole released his video on YouTube. And from what I read about you, it's like you're interested more in the international market. You think that will help our image, or is that we don't have money to buy your work?
Okay. It goes both ways. The Nollywood, or the film industry in Nigeria right now, doesn't have animated content whatsoever. It's usually just, live action movies.
Yes.
And the live action movies are cheap to produce.
Cheaper.
I would say, I'll use the word cheap. Reason why compared to, international standards. And the reason why it's understandable because our distribution channels are not yet so solid. So basically, we tend to just distribute within Nigeria or some cluster of African countries, maybe, some film festivals here and there. So it doesn't really generate as much returns as it should. So it makes a lot of business sense to create your movies cheap or cheaper, you understand, and try to make a profit. But animation, you can't really take shortcuts. Either you're doing bad animation or you're doing good animation. And bad animation usually turns people off immediately, you understand? And if you're going to appeal to the international market, and the reason why I think international market was the way to go is because it opened a lot of doors to what we do
5,000 views in less than 3 weeks.
Right now, it's about 100 and something thousand views collectively.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And most of them are foreigners. Mm-hmm. We have people who, I had to even interview a few of them, it was because it's in Yoruba. Mm-hmm. So I said, it's in Yoruba as in, did you mind? I said, no, they followed the story.
Because there was...
No, apart from the subtitle. We grew up with Chinese movies, Indian movies, you understand? And we followed them. You get?
Because of action.
They didn't even have subtitles.
Some of them didn't have. We had to even figure out what they were saying. And they were projecting their culture. You understand? Most of all I know from China, I've not been to China. I've not been to India.
Even the Americas.
Yeah,
It's from
most of them is from movies. Mm. So if we cannot project our own culture in our movies, if we think it's local or bush, then we're basically killing ourselves.
Okay, we said this is one good thing about Nigeria. But you, for example, you have a product. Wow, this animation, like he says, is good, but it's definitely different from what Shango's done. Shango is 3D. Your own is this 0D or 1D? And is it more...
It's still equally expensive.
It's a D1. I mean, it's, the great thing, there are different styles of animation. And as we say, atol naim bad. I really wanted to get this thing
the
out.
Moana type. Because, when I hear Sejumade, it's like Moana.
See, yes, my dream, if what I've posted online, if you even check the end credits and people that had eagle eye, they said, that they saw 3D, characters, they saw live action. I said, yes, this project, what I really wanted to do was a mix.
Wanted
2D,
or want?
Wanted to do before I got the short film out. I wanted to do a mix of live action, 2D, and 3D. But yes, that's what I wanted to do with the short film. But in the end, it wasn't possible, and I really wanted to get it out of my system and onto some, film festivals. So I had to make do with what I could put out. But my happiness, my joy is the fact that I've submitted it to film festivals, and they were selected in the category of best animation. So it shows that there are different styles of animation.
You've proven the fact that there's content, and it can be done, and it can be better.
And it is the story, because I've shown up to 1,000 children, at different, during the summer camps and all. And none of them told me, auntie or whatever, this thing is not 2D or 3D. They just said, why did it stop where it stopped?
And they want more.
They followed the story. So what I've seen that, okay, story is key. Of course, I wanted something like Kola's own Dawn of Thunder.
And it can still happen.
It is gonna happen.
So is there positive response?
Yes.
That shows that money can actually be made out of this?
Now, if you have the numbers in terms of the people, money can be made. You know, the Dawn of Thunder right now, if you can check Twitter right now, it's still trending right now. So I've lost.
So what's surprising people more? The fact that this quality from Nigeria, or the fact that this story existed?
This quality from Nigeria, and it looks like a good way to project the country to, you know, because there's a lot of negative stuff about Nigeria if you check online. So it's like a breath of fresh air to them, as to Nigerians, that we have this.
I want you to give me what you think Nigeria's potential are from different perspectives. Very quickly, Nigeria's potential.
Sorry, in terms of what?
Anyhow, what's the future for Nigeria? You are young because you're still under 30.
I think the potential is limitless because the talent and the drive is here. So even from schooling in America, a lot of the top performers in school are Nigerian.
So you can attest to that fact?
Yes, I can attest to that fact.
And Unix can, actually, with what you've done. Because I like the fact that you've decided to do something regardless. Don't wait for a job. Just do something. You found a space. So what would you say, as Nigeria turns 57 now, about the potential that we have that we have not, that we have not used? Yeah, Tejumade.
Yeah, so, I mean, I perfectly agree with what he says, where, I mean, it's the power of our numbers. So, I mean, in a certain number of people, there will be a lot of creatives. We're very creative, we're very entrepreneurial, we're very enterprising. We just need a better, enabling environment.
So what's your final words?
I'm a firm believer that Nigeria is special. I don't know the best way to put it, but I've met a lot of talented, brilliant people. I met one today, I know her very well. There are people that they're looking for things to do. They're looking for how to better the country. But if there are no chances for anybody, like if things are, if we're thinking money, money, money all the time and not how to actually improve the country, then we're moving backwards instead of forward.
So we're all saying the same thing. Value, what you do, you talk about the value plus the money, the value plus the money, the value plus the money, what you give back. But I think what I find most interesting, what you've done is you've done. You did, even though it was 3 years old. You did, even though you had tried something else, and you just started by doing. And I thank you all for being guests on my show, and I appreciate it. And I hope that those of you who've watched are taking a leaf off their books. And hopefully, you'll try out all the things that they've tried. Check out Unix, check out Tejumade, and check out Dawn of Thunder. That's been Seriously Speaking for today. I'll see you again. Bye.
Thank you.